Bitcoin. Another big news week for Bitcoin as a new ownership milestone is hit on the network. A new sidechain is proposed. A new token is coming to the liquid sidechain for Bitcoin. And a new mining proposal backed by the Winklevoss twins aims to use wasted gas to power Bitcoin mining. Crypto.com launches their first syndicate offering on the Crypto.com exchange, starting off with EOS. And Greece will start punishing citizens who do not give their money over to the criminal banks. And you know what? Let's just get straight into this. And we're going to start off today with that Bitcoin addresses have hit a new all-time high. So there are now 28.39 million addresses with more than 0 Bitcoin in them. Which, yes, in a way is a useful metric for measuring network growth on Bitcoin. But what we must also realize is that likely there will be a lot of people out there with multiple Bitcoin addresses. I mean, me personally, I have at least a dozen that have some amount of Bitcoin sitting in them. So does this mean more users? Yeah, likely lots more users. But at the same time, this metric gives us zero idea of how many people actually own Bitcoin. Only how many addresses contain Bitcoin, which is kind of cool, but would also like to know the number. Anyway, it's only how many addresses there are. I'm curious, by the way, to know how many addresses do you have for Bitcoin? Be super interesting to know. Hit me up down below in the comment section with that. Next up is Bitcoin mining in North America, the new gold rush. Well, this article from Bitcoin Magazine brings up some interesting data showing increased interest in mining Bitcoin in the USA and in Canada. Now what we're seeing here is a combination of relatively positive regulations in Canada and the United States compared to Bitcoin mining powerhouse China, for example, which can never seem to make its mind up whether it likes or dislikes Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, a lot of fun kind of stuff. As well as an abundance of cheap power, which is attracting a flood of investment into North American Bitcoin farms. And personally, I'm super excited to see the growing power of the North American-based crypto mining industry. Because we've got to keep it real, guys. China has been way overrepresented for way too long when it comes to Bitcoin mining. We need better geographic distribution outside of China. Now, Russia is quickly gaining prominence as, like old aluminum factories and underused hydro plants are being retrofitted into data centers in the far north in places like Karelia or in central Siberia. Areas like Iceland and the Republic of Georgia, those places are starting to hit the upper limits of their growth capabilities moving forward for Bitcoin, so we need new geographic areas to expand into. And North America, it seems, is stepping up to the plate. Now we have seen 2 mega farms, one of which is actually the biggest current Bitcoin mining farm in the world, recently announced in Texas, with a third massive farm backed by Peter Thiel planned for the near future, also in Texas. Quebec, of course, remains a very relevant player in the Bitcoin mining game. And this interesting news just came in about a Winklevoss-backed company called Crusoe Energy Systems. Now, this Denver-based company, what they do is they convert natural gas to power energy-intensive computing. And what requires energy-intensive computing? Bitcoin mining, that's what. Now this is pretty cool. They're going to be setting basically new Bitcoin mining facilities where there is a lot of gas flaring going on. Gas flaring. Gas flaring is where energy companies burn off excess gas in the absence of the adequate pipeline capacity to actually move that gas out. So if you've ever seen, an oil well burning and it's got this flame coming off the top of it, well, that's the gas flaring. That's what you're seeing. So they want to harness that otherwise unused energy to power Bitcoin mining. Now, data from the World Bank's Global Gas Flaring Reduction Partnership Come on, Lark. Shows that nearly 497 billion cubic feet of natural gas are flared annually in the United States alone, which is mind-bogglingly wasteful. To put that in perspective for you, that's enough gas to power over 10 million homes a year in the United States. Wowzers. And again, we see Bitcoin moving in to fill the void where we have wasted energy or unused capacity. Very cool stuff. Now, there's a great article that really goes into a lot more depth on this from Bitcoin Magazine. So if you're looking for more info, there'll be a link down below in the description where you can find that article. Okay, moving on. A new Bitcoin sidechain is being launched. Yeah, Bitcoin Sidechains. The sidechain is called Echo. It will join Blockstream's Liquid and IOV Labs RSK in being a new Bitcoin sidechain. Now, all of them are attempting to add functionality to Bitcoin, while at the same time leveraging Bitcoin's security. Both Liquid and RSK are what are known as federated chains. So their consensus model is basically where a small group of nodes serves as the signatories for transactions. This system requires users to trust the federation to act in good faith. Which honestly, it really surprised me. You see so many Bitcoiners getting behind these kind of sidechains, since that's a pretty brutal trade-off, needing to trust these people to be the signatories on the chain. But that is also why we are talking about Echo. Let me read you a little quote from the article here. Echo's design aims to minimize the trust required in the nodes that operate the connection between Bitcoin's main chain and the side chain by randomly selecting federation members based off of stake and then frequently rotating those members. So, still federated, little nuance better, kind of, sort of, not really-ish, but it's progress anyway. You have to ask yourself the question, is it better to trust exchanges and other major participants, or is it better to trust randomly elected nodes? Or will those random node participants just be the same players that we already see participating in the federated sidechains, just wearing different hats? Also, speaking on the topic of Bitcoin sidechains, an exchange named Bitsy, BTSE, plans to host the first ever native exchange token sale based on a Bitcoin sidechain. The exchange token will join USDT and the Kim token on the Liquid sidechain. Choosing to build on a Bitcoin sidechain instead of Ethereum, pretty cool move, certainly sets them apart, but at the same time, it requires some real trust in your competitors, since they are the ones who are the signatories that allow you in and out of Liquid sidechain's gated garden. Well, the gatekeepers of the Liquid sidechain are really quite unlikely to do any kind of crazy Machiavellian games by cutting off the BTSE token or any kind of stuff like that. Simply due really to reputational awareness. They don't want to be seen to be doing that kind of stuff. And let's keep it real, most of those tokens are going to stay on the exchange anyway. And obviously everybody wants to, keep a tight relationship with the Blockstream team. But still, this is not really a sufficient or desirable model for moving tokens around. Also, I feel like these kind of developments really cancel the argument that so many maximalists out there make about Bitcoin, since this is basically opening up the floodgates for scammy stuff to be built on Bitcoin sidechains, just like we have seen with Ethereum. Oh, wait, actually, you're going to have the Federation keeping the gates, signing off on what is and isn't acceptable. Maybe this is why we have not seen more development around really truly permissionless and trustless sidechains for Bitcoin. Because having control, it's a nice feeling, isn't it? Lots of people don't want to give it up when they get it. Anyway, Speaking of exchanges, the new Crypto.com exchange is about to see its first syndicate sale. So on December 17th, they will be offering $500,000 worth of EOS at a 50% discount. Wowzers. That's a big discount for EOS. In order to be eligible for that sale, you will need to stake and to pledge CRO tokens. Certainly, it's a good way to attract new users to come over and check out and to use the exchange by basically giving away free money. Are you going to be getting into the EOS sale on the new Crypto.com exchange? Let me know about it down below. And finally today, Greece. A new law means that Greeks will be hit with a hefty fine if they do not spend almost a third of their income electronically. That is a super bold anti-cash step by the Greek government. Of course, the move is intended to make people pay their taxes. The avoidance of taxes has been kind of dubbed a national sport in Greece. It's famous for tax evasion. Any individual that fails to meet the transaction target will be hit with a 22% fine on the shortfall. So as an example, if you're a Greek and if you're earning 1,000 euros a month, but you only pay 15% of that income electronically, then you would have to pay a fine of around 400 euros a year. Wow, that's a lot of money for someone making 1,000 euros a month. This is the slow creeping entry into the state-run control monetary matrix, a system where you are forced to use the criminal banks. And if you don't use the criminal banks, you're punished. Where merchants are forced to hand over a few percentage points of their earnings to the payment processors. This is crazy. It's a little more than the state acting like some kind of mafia thug. It's wild when you see these kind of laws get passed. And of course, inevitably, such laws are unlikely to actually hit the people that they should be hitting. The high net worth individuals will still find a way to avoid paying taxes. The rich always seem to find a way because they just walk into a bank and say, I would like to launder some money, please. It's wild. Regular people, though, they're going to be hit the hardest. Also, interestingly, Greece has one of the lowest internet usage rates in the EU at only 72%. And of course, that means that the law will unfairly target and punish the elderly and the poor, those least capable of paying the fines. And you know what? I'm not surprised that so many people want to avoid paying taxes. Most politicians and political structures, they're so deeply corrupt, and you add in all the crazy bureaucracy on top of that. You understand why people are trying to avoid paying taxes. This is not the right way to try and get people to do that, but this is what's happening. So wow, what a case for Bitcoin right there. And one final question for you today. With the holiday season upon us, will you be giving friends and family Bitcoin for Christmas? If so, why? If not, also why? Let me know about it down below. As always, you guys are totally freaking awesome. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I super appreciate it. And if you did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button. Thumbs up button. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe to the channel too if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.